The Michigan Court of Appeals listened to arguments this morning as a battle between Ottawa County commissioners and the top health officer, Adeline Hambley, rages on. For months, Ottawa impact-backed commissioners have aimed to oust Hambley and install a new health officer. In response, she's suing 7 commissioners. News 8's Amanda Porter has the details on today's hearing. Amanda.
2 key issues were focused on today. One, if Adeline Hambley was rightfully appointed as Administrator of Health, and whether to reinstate the requirements of a previous injunction barring Hambley's firing or dissolve it in full.
Why do we have to decide whether or not the decision on permanent versus interim health director matters?
Sure.
Questions from the Michigan Court of Appeals judges on the legal battle of removing Ottawa County's health administrator, Adeline Hambley. Today's hearing is a part of a larger legal battle after Hambley sued Ottawa County and 7 commissioners to keep her position. Ottawa County's attorney says Hambley never rightfully had the job permanently and that she was hired under 3 contingencies: approval from the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services, passing a background check, and then her approval would be finalized. The board's attorney, David Coleman, said the approval from Ottawa's full board of commissioners never happened. Instead, he says the board signed a resolution appointing Hambley after the state's approval and a passed background check. Coleman requested the board dissolve an injunction ordering Ottawa County not to fire Adeline Hambley until the matter goes to trial, arguing a key part of it was vacated. Coleman also argued Hambley showed incompetence by sharing false misinformation online. For that, Coleman says that's why the board is trying to fire her.
We felt the legal issue is still of import and needed to be decided whether or not a board of commissioners can make a vote in public, say we're going to do 1, 2, 3, and then later do a resolution signed by the board chair that only does 2 and 3.
Hambley's attorney, Sarah Howard, said that Hambley was correctly appointed as health officer and that the board only intended to approve her once, citing a December resolution that named Hambley as a permanent health officer.
There's absolutely no evidence that the resolution was somehow drafted by one person and entered. It is common practice for the chair to sign the resolution after the conclusion of the vote.
Right, I think the county clerk has to sign it as well, and the county clerk is presumably the observer to make sure that it conforms with the action of the board.
That's correct, Your Honor.
That's the whole purpose of having a clerk sign it.
That is correct.
They had a dust up several years ago in Macomb County because the clerk wouldn't sign off on things.
Exactly, and the clerk signed this one, and there have been a number of allegations about how and when this resolution was written, but none of those are before the court, Your Honor.
It's unclear when a ruling will be made by the Michigan Court of Appeals. Also, a special hearing on whether to remove Hambley from her position was pushed back to October 23rd. Brian?